It's amusing to me, the words we use at times to define sexual desire. You know, psychologically, we would oftentimes use the word libido, and then watching Austin Powers movie, he goes back to the Old English randy, and it's kind of funny to me that clear back to the 70s from my generation and forward, we use horny still. And so I was trying to think through, as a sex therapist, as someone who works in this area a lot, and especially working with singles, how would we unpack that word? Because I think the thing that bothers me about a lot of these definitions, or a lot of these words that we use, is they're too simplistic. They don't really explain what's going on. So when I look at the word horny or sexual desire, libido, our ability to get aroused, get attracted, I think it's important to look at two different concepts, the surge and the ache, the surge and the ache. And surging would be that each of us as humans have hormones, the way God created it. We have hormones, testosterone, especially in the male, but the female adrenal gland creates testosterone too, and they have estrogen. But we have hormones that create, almost like electricity, a surging, you know, a sexual desire. Like I had to laugh because one of my female friends said that sometimes when she's really surging, that certain time of the month, she says that she whistles back at construction workers. And so I think that male and female, we have a surge, we have hormones, and I think a part of that physiological is not even just hormonal, but our minds pick up cues, and we've associated that with erotic sexuality for ourselves. We've paired that up with erotic sexuality. So each of us has this surging at times, things that will trigger us, our own hormonal urges that will trigger us. So that would be what I would see as the surge. Then I think if we're unpacking horny, a part of, and this is really an important part, gang, to remember, a important part of horny is the whole idea of there's an ache. Because I think the way God created us with our sexual desires, an ability to be sexually aroused and to be sexually fulfilled, that He really made that, He wanted that to be within a relational context. And so I think that there's a part of it that we're aching, not just for fulfillment, not just to have an orgasm, but I think we're really aching for someone to be in our life, for someone special to be in our life, and to have that sense of completion. So when I look at it, I believe God uses even the surging, even the hormonal part at times, to drive us towards relationship. Part of it even, I think, to drive us towards where He thinks, where God is saying the best sex can occur in the way that His economy, His guidelines would be within marriage, that there is an ache that we have. So when we look at horny, let's not be so simplistic. Let's try to take the time to define what exactly is going on right now. We'll talk more about masturbation, I will, but I feel like when I get into masturbation, that so often that might alleviate the surge, that might alleviate, you know, some of that hormonal surging, but I don't see masturbation ever being able to alleviate the loneliness ache, that ache that we have for someone special in our life, that is especially portrayed and worked out and lived out through us, through our sexuality. So when you get into defining it, make sure when you think, wow, am I horny tonight? Let's get a little complex there, okay? Let's get a little complex. Okay, you're horny tonight. What exactly is going on in your body? Are you hormonal? Are there some of that that's just really surging? Or are you perhaps really lonely? Could there be ways that we could deal with horny in different ways if we could understand it better? I think so. Because I think part of the ache is only going to be resolved by being in relationship with someone, even if it's not, you know, I'm not even talking about a sexual relationship in the terms of the erotic, but even just good friendships of the same and opposite sex really can help deal with the ache. So surge and ache, two different ways we need to define how this is taking place within us, and how, if we understand it, we can really think through, what do I do with horny? How do I deal with the surging? Maybe some good exercise. How do I deal with the ache? Some levels of deeper friendship. Surge and ache.